expanding, right? Our consciousness in this box, and then we'll jump to the next box and the next box. So before we get started, I just want to invite you to connect with us when we're not on the air at broadcastteamalpha.com. You can email us. There's a response section where you can contact us there if you have anything you want to talk about, and we will get back to you. And we invite you to join the Mastermind Connection on Sundays, Eastern Time, 2 p.m. We get together with a group of amazing, just expansive, amazing thinkers, and we join our thought energy for the most beneficial and benevolent purposes. We've masterminded, if you will, we'll make that word a verb. We've masterminded peace during the elections. We've masterminded weather patterns, and joined with other people around the world and had good success at that. We have masterminded about the illness that's going around, and although we can't fix a lot of what happened, our thoughts can shift the way that people receive what's coming, right? People can go left instead of going right and find themselves interacting with someone who has a remedy, for what they've gotten or, are thinking about getting. So we're going to talk about all kinds of great things tonight, but if you'd like to join us on the Mastermind Connection, send us an email to the Mastermind Connection. Don't forget the THE, mastermindconnection@gmail.com. We will send you the link to Sunday, and we hang out Monday night and Wednesday night too. Of course, all of these are optional, and most people come because they really want to be there. It's the kind of friendship that has developed that you don't want to miss it. You get to know each other. You have this dynamic, fantastic conversation that just enriches your spirit and expands your consciousness. So how does it get better than that? I just want to thank you. Aage thanks you for when you hit the super chat function. It's always like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day for us. I used to open our packages on Christmas Eve, and we're like little kids when that happens. And we're so grateful for your generosity, so grateful for being here. Aage, how's it going tonight?
It's hot in Arizona.
Yeah, what's going on? You don't have air right now.
Oh man, we had an air conditioner quit on us, and it's in the process of being replaced. So it is 94 degrees in the house, and we're hot. Oof.
You seem to be tolerating it well.
Yeah, I almost looks like I'm half Indian, so I just...
Well, that's the computer. That's not you being overheated, right?
Yeah. That's the computer.
Okay, good. Good.
Oh man, I'll tell you, the summers in Arizona. No, I was gonna say the winters in Arizona. I'll take that over anywhere else in the Midwest or north of here, where you have 3 feet of snow, freezing rain, and all kinds of other nice stuff.
Right.
Arizona winters are wonderful.
Well,
but we live with it in the summer. But on the other hand, we're going to talk about some really interesting stuff tonight, this morning, or tomorrow, wherever you are around the world.
The next box and the next box. So before we get started, I just
wanted to talk a little bit about success first. What is it? We can talk about that. Maybe if someone really had wanted to do something, maybe they think it is impossible. If you had that thought, I want to remind you of someone, and that was Walt Disney. He said in an interview one time that when I put together the draft of Disney World, he said, everybody said it was impossible. But then he had succeeded at it, and he said, it's kind of fun to do the impossible. And yes, we can do the impossible. And in that regard, I want to ask you a question. I don't want you to answer me, I want you to answer you. And the question is, what would you start tomorrow morning if you knew you could not fail? Okay, I paused on purpose because this is something that takes some thought. And I also would ask you, don't answer right away because I guarantee you don't know how to think big enough. Wait 24 hours before you come up with an answer for yourself. And not necessarily the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth answer. You will come up with one that is so big that it scares the daylight out of you. That's the one you want to stick with. Because those really huge dreams can be done. I've done some of those, and they can be done. So you see, success takes a little effort. And the effort is not necessarily with your hands and hard labor. No, a lot of the effort comes from here and here. You may have to outthink some things. You outthink situations, and that is the best done when you join your mind and your heart and you ask the advice of that universal source, and that answer will come, and you can really do some amazing things with that. And when it comes to that kind of success, there is principles, there's technique, there is about how to associate with people that have information that you need. You can put yourself in a place in your mind where people will come and join you. They will come from nowhere to help you succeed at what you want to do. These things happen. This is universal law. Once you start knocking on the door will be open. And this is something that Nori and I will do here in a class coming up on the 4th of next month. But think of it this way also. Whatever you do right now, if you're perfectly healthy, if you're perfectly happy and successful, don't change a thing because what you're doing is working. But also, failure needs no plan. Success needs a plan. It needs a plan, it needs work, like taking a class or reading books or associating with people on their YouTube channel to learn what they know. And the technique that is out there for all of this is available to us if we seek it out. And that is why we invite you to join us and learn what we know so you can get to know what you know. And that's where things start. And Nori, I've been talking way too long. Help me out. You take it from here because you got so much to say on this subject.
So Pixie's gonna bark for a minute. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
So success, when you think of success, what do you think of? You may think of that business goal that you want to do. You may think of the book you want to write. You may think of the screenplay you want to write. You may think of a relationship that you desire. You may think of health that you would like to create, or a body you would like to create, or maybe some physical or material things that you desire. So there are a lot of ways a lot of places that we go to when we think about success. And of course, Aage, laid out, what if you couldn't fail? What would you do? I mean, he asked me that question 3 years ago, and I haven't finally answered it because it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, just like he said. But it occurred to me when I was listening again tonight that, maybe I could pick the 10th iteration of what I would do if I couldn't fail, and then begin there. Out of my comfort zone, makes me a little nervous, right? It's got all the qualities of a good thing to follow, and then begin to devote my energy, begin to devote the law of vibration and the law of attraction to that. And then it's going to naturally expand. It's going to take me to the next one and the next one and the next one. But what happens when we don't get to the next one? What stops us? Do we get in our own way? Do we feel like we're not deserving? Do we sabotage ourselves, right? What is it that happens? There's something, and it doesn't matter what kind of success we're talking about. You know, it could be with a food program. It could be with a relationship. It could be with that thing that you keep wanting, but you keep kind of missing the mark. So what gets in the way, it's not important to go back into history and dig up what's in the way and do the primal scream about it. Instead, you can just go, something's in the way, I'm stuck, and deal with what's in front of you from an energetic perspective. Right. And the beauty of that is you don't have to get into the emotional aspect of what usually happens when you think about the thing that you keep doing that trips yourself up. Because you can lose so much time lamenting over this thing that you keep doing that you're not even moving. And that's where you feel stuck. And I don't know about you, but there is very little than I like less than feeling stuck.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the law of vibration and how to move yourself up the vibrational scale so that you're always meeting and invite you to connect fresh aspect of the trajectory of your success, and then you deal with that or whatever it was that was holding you back. You deal with that, you go up another level, you deal with whatever is blocking you there or seems like a roadblock. And we do that with these amazing tools and processes that seem a little, playful at first. But once you utilize one of the tools or the processes, you understand what a power tool that is. And it launches you from stuck, or if you're further down the vibrational scale than stuck, maybe you're in grief or depression. I mean, like really, really down there, launches you from the depth, of density up a little bit, up a little bit more, up a little bit more. Then you're into the new creation. Then you get to play and expand and create for a while, and then you're going to meet what seems like another sticking point. And the way to deal with all of that are these crazy little tools and processes that are fun. But let's talk about the vibrational scale. Aage, what do you think the vibrational scale is?
Well, that's our own vibrational scale. We have a vibrational scale, and I imagine the world of its own have the vibrational scale on the different matter of it. But if we really feel lousy, we're way down there. And if we feel like we're walking on clouds, we could be up around, I don't know what the top number is, but I think you put it at 10, was it?
Yeah, mine was a scaled down version, if you will. Yeah, so we'll say 1 to 10, but
Yeah,
there are
and
some that goes like to 22 and beyond.
there are times when I really felt wonderful, and I can feel like I'm at I, for today, it couldn't hardly be any better. So that could be a 10, and then other days I'm down to 9 or 8 or whatever. But I think within ourselves, we can feel that if it's a good day, if we are optimistic about what we do. And that often comes from those tools that you are talking about that we should do on a regular basis every day, because they help us to keep us at that 10.
Right, right, absolutely.
You said another thing too. When I said, what would you start tomorrow morning if you knew you couldn't fail? Now, that's the really long-term goal, made. In the meantime, you can't get there. So you got to take it step by step, as you're talking about. And that's what I forgot to say, because those small steps, one built on another one, those are the one that's going to get you up there.
Yeah, so I just want to digress for a minute because people in the chat room are saying that the stream is buffering. Some people have tried different devices and come back, and some people said they're going to catch the replay. And Sherry, in all of her wisdom, said this must be something important for it to be this glitchy. That's true, right? When we have good stuff to share, it gets glitchy, right? Anyway, we're going to keep going. So the vibrational scale, okay, let's go back a little bit. Everything that you desire rises up to meet you when your personal vibration is at a high level. Now, you may be saying, I can't be at a 10 every single day. That's just not the way I am. And that is okay. If you're at a 5, right? 5 is just meh, a meh. If you're at a 5, but you desire and you reach for walking, you want to walk up to a 6, just the desire to want to walk up to a 6 signals to the universe high energy, and the universe is saying yes to everything that you have launched as your intention. Then you go from a 6, you want to go to a 7. So even if you're a 2, the desire to want to go to a 3 is still high enough energy to keep you in the higher realm of creating your success that's going to come to you. So we're going to have a class. It's called Law of Attraction in Action, and it's important to hear the inaction part because it takes action. It takes inspired action for us to keep walking up the vibrational scale. There's 0, right? That is the pits. You could not be any more down, any more miserable, any more depressed. Then there's 10, where everything's going great on every level of your life. And how do you measure this, right? You don't measure it with a thermometer or with a blood pressure cuff. You measure it by the way that you feel. How do I feel in every given moment? How do I feel in any given moment? How many times, this would happen to me all the time. I would do my energy work in the morning. I'd be floating on a 10, get into corporate America, get into my cube, and then I would get lost from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And when I came out at 3 o'clock, I was like, where the heck was I? And I was so down in the lower vibrations that I couldn't even see it. So part of what we want you to learn, what we invite you to learn in the class, is how to be in touch with what you're feeling all the time. And how the minute your energy changes, you go, oops, it just changed. And you want to walk yourself up to a better feeling place. You want to walk yourself up to a better feeling thought. And one of the tools, classic Abraham Hicks, is which thought feels better. When you go, wow, I just beat myself up for the last 20 years of my life, what thought feels better? I was a dork, I sabotaged myself for 20 years, or what thought feels better? Well, I learned a lot, and now I learned enough to take it to the next level. That thought, do you feel how light that feels from calling yourself a dork and self-sabotaging yourself for 20 years and, the marriage went bad and whatever it is that, right, you ball everything up into it to, well, I learned a lot from that and it's given me the power to move to a higher level. That's so much lighter. Right? So that's what we want you to feel. We want you to feel light. We want you to feel buoyant. We want you to feel open, because when you're in that open space, that's where you notice the synchronicities. That's when you notice, instead of going right, you go left. Even though you always went left, left is the way to go. But for some reason, you're inspired to go right, and you're inspired to stop at that store, and you don't need anything from the store, but you happen to walk in there, you meet somebody who you know, that person has somebody with them, and that guy is the publisher of the book that you want to write. That's how it happens. And it happens by keeping your vibration light and keeping your vibration airy. And even when you don't think that it's working, it is working. And it's amazing, right?
It works all the time. Law of attraction work when we think good things, and it also works when we're not thinking so good things.
Absolutely. I mean, who has not experienced the day that you woke up, something happened to set your day off wrong, and then from that point on, everything continued to go wrong, right? You went to grab the toothpaste and the tube was half open, you didn't know it, the toothpaste goes just like everything. You go to get your coffee and you have a light colored outfit on and you're gonna drink your coffee, you find at the last minute it's too hot, you jerk because you're in the car driving, right? coffee all over your light outfit, right? These are things I'm remembering, right? That's when I had white scrubs on that day. Um, and
I've
then you
done
get
that.
into work, right? And that energy already went into work before you and laid out the day, for Excedrin number, 10 headache. So the opposite of that is true too. If when the toothpaste went all over the bathroom mirror, you said, haha, I know what this is. That could be a bad day waiting to happen. I'm not going to let it happen. And then you just decide, you use one of the tools, right, to bring yourself up. What thought feels better? Holy crap, look what just happened. This is going to be a hell of a day. Or, I know what this is. I'm going to create a better day. And then you just implement one of the tools and everything gets better. And one of the tools could simply be standing in the bathroom and declaring the dominant vibration that you want to feel in your day, right? You're not going to tell the universe, I want to go from my house to the gas station and there, this is going to happen. You don't tell the universe what's going to happen. Instead, you tell the universe the way you want your day to feel. Do you want it to be filled with peace? Do you want it to be filled with ease? Do you want it to be filled with love and affection and laughter? If you're standing in the bathroom and you just think all of that, it flows out and it's a clear signal to the universe, and it is already pre-paved. It is waiting for you to show up.
Wow.
So the vibrational scale, how many hours have you lost in unhappiness or uncomfortableness or stuck, right? Have you ever fallen into, that kind of crappy feeling, and then you just think about it and you 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 don't realize you're thinking about it and you lose half the day, right? All of that time you could have been creating in the higher energetic levels. Thank you, Pixie. Hey, come here, Mama. Come on. Sorry, guys. What happens when you Zoom at home, right? How much time have you ever lost in being angry? Right? That could last a long time. I mean, that could last 3 days for some people. How many hours have you lost being depressed? How much time have you thought being doubtful? Right? I mean, doubt can be a low, simmer for a lot of time. How much time have you lost wondering? I mean, now wondering is beginning to bring you into the lighter vibration, because at least you're gonna get to the point, not wondering why you've had such a crappy life, not wondering why you've had such a bad day, bad relationships, bad whatever, but wondering what the possibilities are. So now you're beginning to come into the higher vibrations with your thought process. So you can go from wondering, you can go to the possibilities, and if you just consider the possibilities, and this is amazing, I was so in the pits, right? Low vibrations over a relationship that was just so bad. The breakup was bad, and I was, in that breakup mode where you stay on the couch and eat ice cream. And I was on a group list for Abraham Hicks, and this amazing woman, I'll never forget her name is Jules, said to me, she laid out this scenario, this what if scenario. And one of the what ifs was, what if you go and get a pink convertible, right? An old pink convertible, drive it to Texas, become a waitress with big hair and a tight pink uniform on in Texas, and you meet a cowboy who is just everything you ever desired. And it was so silly. She put in a lot of detail. And then I felt it. I felt myself driving. I had the pink Cadillac. It was amazing. And all the while, my thoughts are getting lighter. I'm coming out of the muck, right, of the depression because of the breakup. The thoughts are getting lighter and lighter. And my vibration was so elevated by the time I finished reading an email about that big. And that's what we can do for ourselves. And that's how the tools work that we're going to be introducing to you. Comments?
Yeah, this is something that you talked about we lose time by being in these pits. We can lose hours. Some people lose years,
Yes.
decades, and it is totally unnecessary. If someone has been in the pit for the last 4 years over, like you said, a breakup, or something that happened, a death in the family, or being bankrupt, or something like that, it could be absolutely anything. The next day you could start over again if you knew those techniques, and you could be
Right.
on a way going up instead of heading down.
Exactly. Exactly. And if you're dealing with grief, grief is not necessarily something we just stand up and go, oh, I was sitting in a grief puddle, and then you're out of it. That it doesn't really happen like that. But you can choose when you experience the emotional expression of the grief and it doesn't hurt you. I mean, I discovered that when my mother was dying. So we're not saying gloss over everything. Although when you get really good at it and you choose to do it, you can quantum leap out of some of those really painful emotions that you would have spent a lot of time in and get out of them with no bad effects, everything good. But if you're grieving, if you have a relationship you're grieving over, you learn how to use the tools, or you learn how to use your desire to want to feel better, so that you're always signaling to the universe, hey, I'm open. I might not be a 10, but I'm a 3, and that was better than when I was at a 1. And the universe is like, yes, that's your high vibration. I'm on the show right now. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry, guys. Hi. Sorry, guys.
Oh, they got a mind of their own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm not sure if the stream is working okay. Some people are asking for the replay because we're glitchy. So we'll keep going, but I just wanted to mention that to you. So some of the tools. Okay, so the first thing that you experience in the class is how to feel what you're feeling. How to notice when you go from feeling decent to, oops, I just hit a bump. I just dropped down a level. Right? We teach you how to get in touch with yourself. It's just mindfulness. It's just mindfulness that you build into your day every day. That's my dog.
Yeah.
And then we work on quantifying the way that you feel. Emotional vibrational scale. You're really just going to tap into the way that you feel, right? How do I feel today? And you just intuit it. You're like, I don't know. I had that thing that happened today. Didn't quite shake it off. Maybe I'm at a 5. Okay. Choose, right? You're at the 5. And then we just play with a tool, like what thought feels better. Now, if you're at a 2, you're going to need a different kind of tool than which thought feels better. So, 2, if you're at a 5 and you want to get to 100, there isn't one tool that can get you there. Some people can do a quantum leap, like I talked about before, right? Being at a 0 because you're grieving the death of somebody and launching yourself out of it. Some people can do it, but it's hard. It's hard on the body because of the energetic trajectory that you use. So you're like, okay, I'm at a 5. Play with a tool, play with a power tool, a pocket tool, Universal Manager, which is a great one. It's also called the placemat process from Abraham Hicks. And this is good when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel like you have so much to do that you're like paralyzed, I just can't even start. So what you do is, first you decide, do you believe in the universal laws? Do you believe that the universe has your best interest at heart? Do you believe that there is the law of vibration and the law of attraction? And then once you go, yeah, I do believe that, you draw a line down the paper, you put your name on one side, and then you put whatever you call the universe on the other side. And on your side, you write down at the bottom corner all of the things that you have to do, right? You got 50 million things you got to do. Write them all down. Then you look at the first one and go, take a shower. Can the universe do that for me? No, not really. That's on my side of the placemat. Pack up my apartment in another state because I moved. Can you do that right now because you're in your old state? No, you can't do that. So you put that on the side of the universe. Pack up my apartment in the new state, in the old state. What else? Laundry. Does it have to be done right now? No.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on the universe's side, because then the universe is going to sort through what it's going to bring to you first. And all of a sudden, you may find out that somebody else did the laundry for you. And that's the way that it works. And when you put, right, pack up my apartment in my old state on the other side, the universe is collaborating, right? The universe is collaborating and organizing things that you don't even know yet, so that you go to buy your plane ticket and you get bumped up to first class. You meet somebody in first class that's an amazing connection that you're going to get back to when you get back into your new state. You get to the rental car and you got upgraded in your rental car. You start driving and the day is beautiful and everything amazing is happening. You get to your apartment that you're going to pack up, and a bunch of people are there. They knew you were coming in, so your friends are like, hey, we're here to help you, right? You had no idea. You were worried out of your mind. How am I going to get this all done? You have like 24 hours to do it. And all of a sudden, all your friends, your old friends, are at the door like, hey, we're going to help you. Not only that, they've got packing supplies. This is the way that the tools really work. So you give the universe whatever you don't have to do right now in that red hot minute. You put it on the side of the universe, and it is working while you're doing the things that you have to do. That is one of my favorite processes.
Yeah. Yeah. That actually can make it a lot simpler than we would think it would be.
Yeah, not only simple, but when you trust that it's going to happen, that lifts all of the heaviness off of you. And then you're open again to all of the possibilities, the synchronicities, the collaboration of the universe that's already happening. And all you do is go about your day feeling good, going from one feeling good place to the next feeling good place to the next feeling good place. And that leads you right to your success.
Yeah.
If we could just keep going in the direction of what feels good, you're going to land right in your success, whatever that success is defined as.
Yeah, and we have to expect it, that once we put in the order for something good, not necessarily in detail knowing what it is, but something good to happen in that direction, we expect it to happen. I guess it's kind of like ordering something on the internet. You figure out what you want, you pay for it, and then you know it's going to come. You don't have to call them back the next day and say, did you send that?
Right.
No, you know it's going to come.
Exactly. And you just release attachment to outcome. Now, if by chance you have a gut feeling, right, because you're in the higher energetic places, and you're like, know what, let me go back and check my order. And then you go back in there and you're like, your credit card information needs to be updated. Wow, great, good thing you followed your intuition, right? That's where I always feel it. That's why I point there. You go to it, you fix whatever needs to be fixed, then you let it go again. You just let it go, and you release attachment to outcome. Because if you're, white knuckling it, when is it going to come? When is it going to come? I don't know when it's going to come. We know it's going to come next Tuesday. Is it really Tuesday? You know it's going to be Tuesday. When you release that, you're in the higher energies, where everything comes to you, where you create from, where you choose the next feeling better thought, which leads you right to your success. Mm-hmm. Same thing when you order on the menu, right? You order on the menu, you give, I want this amazing salad, with all the yummy things in it. You hand the waiter the menu back. You don't go, oh, wait a minute. How big is the lettuce cut? Where are the cherries from? The cherry tomatoes from? I only want red peppers cut in perfect rectangle. You don't do that, right? You trust, you know the restaurant, you know you get a great salad. You just sit there and you enjoy the conversation, you enjoy your drink, you enjoy the day, and boom, here comes your salad.
Yep.
Right? Release attachment to outcome. That
Ex- ex-
balls you up. Hmm?
expect the universe to provide.
Right. Right. And feeling, discovering, and defining where you're at energetically in any given moment can be as simple as going, does that feel heavy or does that feel light? I feel heavy. When you feel heavy, it's because your energy is restricted. Your energy is constricted, right? You pull in and you end up doing this. When you feel amazing, your energetic field is way out there, right? When you walk into a room and everybody goes, "Who just arrived?" It's because your energy
Yeah,
is out there. But what happens? We've been given these messages when we were little. Oh, you're supposed to be seen and not heard. You're don't get in anybody's way. Do this, don't do that, and you're taught to play small. But that's not where anything happens. That only leads to sliding down the wrong end of the vibrational scale. So when we go, you know what? I deserve to be heard, not just seen.
that's
I
right.
deserve to speak my truth. I deserve to exercise my voice. I deserve to meet amazing people that are just like me or better. I deserve this, right? And you just allow your energy. I deserve to flow in the possibilities of what can happen. I deserve to play in the possibilities of limitlessness. When you let your energy get that big, everything comes to you.
Mhm.
So you don't have to go, how am I feeling, and get into this psychodrama in your head. Just go, does it feel heavy? Does it feel light? It can be that simple. I was just feeling light and now I feel heavy. Haha, I know what this is. I'm going to take a tool.
Yeah.
Don't take a pill, take a tool.
Yeah, I guess that's why the rumor out there is that psychotherapists, they're more nuts than their clients, because
Wow.
they receive all that energy from their clients and they hold on to it.
Well, good ones, well trained ones
They know how to do
should
better.
know,
Yeah.
to be buffered, to not take it on. And yeah, yeah, but that's a whole different story. So,
Yeah, that now these are just some of the tricks of the trade, I suppose. And you should know, being a double certified law of attraction coach, and you've been trained by even one of the guys that was on the movie The Secret. And
absolutely.
come to think of it, we interviewed him one time on Broadcast Team Alpha.
We did interview Bob Doyle. He was
Yeah.
he was generous enough to come on and play with us, and he's amazing.
Hmm.
Yeah, my first certification was through him, through Boundless Living, and I learned so much. I learned so much, and even if you go, I've been working my energy for many many years. This seems too simple for me. You might be surprised what you may discover really, really works for you. You may be to the point where you know that you need to step into the person that lives and navigates in that world, right? You know who you need to become. And in becoming that person, you have to let go of stuff that held you back.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
you may be at that level, which is pretty advanced. Congratulations. But there's still going to be times where you go, "Hope, I was feeling light, now I'm feeling heavy." Oops, I was a 10, now I'm a 5. What am I going to do? Right? These tools never get old. They never get rusty. They may get a little dusty, but that's for us to make sure that we pick them up and dust them off and use them. If you're not using your tools, chances are you might be feeling stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody is not up all the time. There's always things for a short period of time that will bring you down, and especially within a marriage. If one is up, then it's great. Both up is great. But if one goes down, make sure the other one does not go down. One of them should be up at all time, or try to at least keep it that way so they can keep the thing together.
Yes, yes. And there are tools for that as well. There are tools for when you find yourself in a relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship, a marriage, a partnership, a work relationship, a friendship, where it's kind of rocky. It's really, really rocky. And that, going in with a conversation at that time would be counterproductive. So there are amazing tools that you can do minding your own business that changes your energy, right? Keeps you buoyant and lifted. And there's always the possibility that your light energy might influence the other person's energy, because you can't create in another person's energy. You cannot create in another person's energy unless they say yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you can you can use tools that keep you bubbly and buoyant and actually may shift the dynamics of the relationship. They might not be able to rise to the level that you're at, and they may fall out of your now because it's an energetic mismatch. Or, like in all relationships, one partner grows, the other one comes up to meet them. One partner grows, the other one comes up to meet them, right? But what happens when you're in that I'm coming up moment, right? Right? How many times do we blow up a relationship? It was like, why are you so down? Why are you talking to me that way? Why are you this? Why are you that? Right? Right there is where we should be using a tool instead of running our mouth,
Yeah.
And it's so wonderful because you're happy. You're in the higher energies no matter what the outcome is. And if they happen to fall out of your life, you have the tools to help you during that grief period. And maybe you may be to the point where you don't have to have a long time. You may go, yeah, I'm going to grieve for 3 days and really be done. I mean, it happens. I've done it, and it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see anything happening in the chat room. Do you?
No, I'm not looking at it actually.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we can catch comments if they come through.
Yeah. Well, what we've been talking about here is not very commonly known. And I know there are people that has been listening to The Secret, and I'm one of them. I run it ever so often, and I listen to it. In fact, I run it at night so that I go through this. I fall asleep on it, and the subconscious mind is always listening. But there is something that seemed to me like was missing in The Secret, and that is the fact that yes, it is possible to create things out of absolutely nothing, but somewhat unlikely unless we also add our own effort to it. So kind of like the joke, about buy a ticket, right? So in order to win the lottery, we got to buy a ticket. So we should do our part to help the universe create in our existence. And that's one of the things that I seem to be missing in The Secret. Is there something to this? Or
No, I agree with that. Because it was slanted in a way that led you to believe that you sit at home, and rub the magic lamp and wait for everything to come to you. And maybe that happens for some people. Maybe it does. It could happen. But the thing that they left out is that for all of the other people, it's that inspired action, right? You get that gut feeling like, oh, I think there's something wrong with my order. You go in, you take that inspired action, right?
Yeah.
You're not knee-jerk reacting out of emotion or out of fear. You're like, oh, something's going on. You check it out and you find out that you needed to update your card information.
Yeah.
Great, you fixed it. Like I mentioned before, instead of going left, going home, you go right, and you have this crazy rendezvous that you never knew would happen, and it leads you, it leads you to the next step on your path. So taking inspired action is really, really an important piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I was putting the intention out there for this book that I wanted to write for a long time, create the intent, the book. And it was a certain book that I was thinking about. So I drove from Virginia to Maryland, was coming back on a really busy highway, and all of a sudden I'm getting a download of a book. So I pulled the car over on the side of the road. All I had was one of the little memo notebooks like they used to use for your homework. So I got that out, and I'm just writing frantically all of this information. I'm drawing stick figures, and I'm like, what the hell is this? This isn't the book I was going to write. What is this? It's all coming in, flipping the pages, drawing, boom, got it, was done. Driving home, I'm like, what just happened? And then I remembered every day I would review my intention, right, to write the book. It wasn't the book that I was thinking of, but it was an amazing book that was so sweet and so beautiful and so healing. And it was completely filled. It was, a big book like this with beautiful colored graphics. It was like a storybook for children of all ages. And I had no idea it was going to happen like that. But had I not taken, like, oh, wait a minute, what is this coming in? I'm driving on the highway in Maryland. What is this? If I didn't listen to that and take the inspired action to pull over, would I have lost it? Possibly.
Mm-hmm. Good, yeah.
If my intentions are pure, it would hopefully circle around again. But it's usually easier when you answer that call the first time. It's usually so effortless when you answer the call the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no reaching for words. There's no what comes next. It just comes down and onto the pad, and it flows, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it flows.
Yeah.
Maybe talk a little more about the what we can expect in the class. Techniques we've talked a little bit about, but there is maybe principles and there's other things in there that you would probably talk about.
Gosh, you expand into so many places, and it's an unexpected thing that happens. But you end up at the end of the 4 weeks. It's once a week, every Wednesday night for maybe an hour, maybe 90 minutes. After the 4 weeks, you have this incredible, deep, loving relationship with yourself. And most people don't really expect that. And, it wasn't something I was thinking that would happen. But having taught the class several times now, it happens. There is nothing better than being in complete alignment with yourself, because that's where your energy flows, right? Unimpeded. That's where your energy flows. That's where your energy takes up the whole damn room. Don't you ever apologize for taking up the whole room. So, that's some of the unexpected things that happen. Sometimes when you begin to shift energy in one area, it kind of rattles the energy in other areas. So if you choose to raise your vibration to a higher level, some of the things that are not of that vibration can fall away. Yep. The good thing is you're going to have the tools. Whatever that is that happens to fall away, you're going to have tools to get yourself through it. And quite frankly, when denser things, when heavier things fall away, once you get through that initial awkward period of not having that person, that situation, that experience in your life, you realize that you just made space for higher energy, people, places, things, time, circumstances, events to come to you. There has to be a void for the universe to fill it. So that's some of the things that could happen.
Yeah, and you say when we raise our vibration, not everything is at that vibration might fall through. Some of those things that fall through are people that we
Yes.
don't necessarily need in our life or is in our life at our detriment sometimes.
Right. Right.
And
And,
that's hard to wrap our heads around. That let's say it's a brother-in-law. I'm just joking about the brother-in-law. He's a pretty good guy usually, but that guy, he may be one that holds you back. And when he starts, they usually vibrate themselves out of your life all on their own, and you don't necessarily have to push them out. They just go away most of the time.
that is the truth. When you are playing in the higher energies, even if you want somebody to exit your life, if you keep focused on the higher energy, it's not going to be a big dramatic breakup. It's not going to be, a screaming match. It's going to be something that you didn't expect where things just change.
Mhm.
It happens very naturally. That person suddenly meets somebody else, or that person doesn't like the way that things are going, right? So you don't even have to do anything. It just falls away naturally. It's nothing like the other situations you had in the past when you weren't tending to your own vibration.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's easy to happen these days, especially when we know that some of the people we know, they do things that we don't do, and they just kind of vibrate themselves out of our life
Hmm.
just because of a simple thing like that.
Hmm.
I've had that happen.
You have?
Yeah,
How did it go?
we just don't talk anymore.
It just falls away.
Yeah, they just sip. There no bad words, no nothing. We just don't talk.
Yep. Something happens. You get busy in your life, they get busy in their life. Like,
Yeah,
wow, 3 months just went by. I haven't talked to what's her name? What's his name?
yeah.
And you're like, wow, that happened. That really worked.
Mhm.
Yeah, only good things happen when you begin to direct your energy intentionally.
Yeah.
Only good things happen. And amazing things can happen. I mean, as small or as big as you can dream, it can happen. It can
Yeah.
really happen. Just apply the principles and the tools.
I
I mean,
would change. I would change one of your words. Nori, you said it can happen. I would say it will happen. Even the smallest thing, something will happen, so you can recognize that yes, there is something to this.
oh, absolutely. You will definitely experience the
There are effects that'll sneak up on you. So,
yeah, and it's better than that. There's something that happens when suddenly you realize I did that. You're like, I was here, now I'm here. I did that. And that's one of the tools, right? We want you to say I did that. Even if something bad happens, I did that,
Mhm.
right? Because we create our own reality. And
Yeah,
that's one of the things that we have to get clear on in the beginning, right? Things don't happen to us. Things happen for us. And even though they may seem bad at the moment, nobody else is doing it to you. It's pivotal on your path to bring you to where you want to be.
another thing I want to say is that sometimes we have so-called bad things happening in our life that actually is a good thing because it leads us to something that is much greater.
Right.
And I know that for a fact. Boy, did that happen to me. But I would not have been here today and done what I'm doing right now had it not been for something bad to happen to me in the past that brought me to this kind of path.
Right.
So
Right.
there are bad things that is good for you. And remember, I think there was a much wiser man than me that said 2,300 years ago, it's not the bad things in your life that bothers you. It's how you think about the bad things in your life that bothers you.
Exactly. Exactly. And having the understanding, having the expansive tools to apply, the way that you experience that bad thing is never going to feel like the way you used to experience it.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty. You're not going to be in depression or crying or on the couch or whatever it is that you did when bad things happen, and you're able to stay steady, right, and maybe not have your energy way up, maybe it's a little smaller, that's okay, but you're still in the receiving field. And while you're in the receiving field, it changes all of those bad things to something else, something lighter. And sometimes you go, oh yeah, that happened, but it fell away. And you just go, shake it off, let's go. Success that way. Let me do a quantum leap. I'm ready for a quantum leap.
There you go. See, we kind of used up a big part of our time here, but when and how do people get connected up so they can join us on this adventure that starts early next month?
Absolutely. So it's happening under the Mastermind Connection umbrella. So if you're interested, if you want information, it starts August 4th, which is when the first Wednesday, and it goes for, if that's the wrong date, I apologize. No, it's August 4th, 11th, 18th, and 25th. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can just send an email to the mastermindconnection@gmail.com. Let us know that you're, hey, give me some details about the LOA in action, the Law of Attraction in Action class, and we will contact you the next business day if we're not in when we get the email, when you send the email, and you'll have all the details and how to sign up. And it's for a ridiculously low price. And we're doing that because we think that at this moment in time, with everything that's going on, that everybody should have the Law of Attraction in Action tools. There's too many things happening that could make us go, oh, I'm feeling heavy. I'm feeling heavy. I'm feeling heavier. No, this is okay. I'm not going to look at that, but I'm going to tend to my own vibration. So we want you to have the tools. We want to make it accessible to everybody. So we hope that you'll come join us. The mastermindconnection@gmail.com. And we're so grateful you're here. We're so grateful that you join us on Tuesday nights. Come see us next Tuesday night. We'll probably have a guest other than ourselves. We'll just get back on track. What do you think, Og?
Yeah. And once you join us in the class, of course, you'll have full access to both myself and Nori, and we'll be talking privately also. So we will have just a really good.
It's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of laughter.
Oh, yeah.
Just great fun. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. So.
I may even put one of my corny jokes in there.
We know that that's going to happen. We know that in advance.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. All right.
Any other brilliant thoughts, Nori? I'm all ears.
No, I think I'm good for this time.
Okay. Well, then we will see you next week. And we already have a guest. And I just can't tell you because it's so exciting. We are going to do this is going to be good next Tuesday at the same time.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Augie. Bye, Mac. Thank you.